live. How's it going? Dusty Bogan here. National Flag Day. Does it get any better than that? Cheap Tuesday, we're back. We're back and better than ever before. I was running late, had to go to the bank, and then there was an awesome Vietnamese bakery. I couldn't resist. Had to get my fucking, what is it, steak, cheese, and bacon pie. You know how it is. Bloody delicious. And I'll try and look at the camera because I actually got my webcam. Hey, Kevin. Hi, Dusty. Thanks, mate. Thanks for tuning in. Shit, the battery's low. Plugging. I was rushing to the max, and I said on Facebook and Instagram and MeWe and Telegram I was going to go live at 4, so I thought better stick to it, eh? Nah, it's been a while since I've done Cheap Tuesday anyway, so here we bloody go. It's National Flag Day today anyway, so I was reading some good shit about it today. One of the legend Proud Boys posted it up, and I was like, oh yeah, that's a bloody good one. Just like I was saying, if you followed my video the other day, what were we talking about? We were talking about this Climate Action Day on the 20th of September and this Wear It Purple Day, this fucking support rainbow children pushing, normalizing fucking sexual minorities on children, pushing that agenda on children. If they want to push that shit in schools, they want to tell your kids to fucking wag school and protest because of Climate Day, or they want your kids to wear purple. They want to shove that political shit down our throats. I suggest that we just we got to go, fair enough, mate. What's going on with my YouTube? We're going to go, fair enough, mate. We're just going to fucking rock up with our Aussie flags on National Flag Day. You know what I mean? We've got to give it back just as good as they do. But in a nice way. Because, National Flag Day is for everyone. That's what I want to tell you. I want to tell you about the history of National Flag Day. Because I barely knew about it. Actually, I think my missus told me about National Flag Day a few weeks back. And I was like, oh, yeah. And they might have mentioned it at it. One of her friends or something told her about it. So I was like, oh, yeah. Sounds like a ripper of a day. Apparently there was a ceremony in Brisbane City today at where was it? It was at the town hall, King George Square. They raised the Aussie flag, and I was thinking, geez, I would have loved to have been there. It's between 9 and 10. Anyway, I'll read to you about this National Flag Day. National Flag Day. The Australian national flag was first flown in 1901. Damn, dead straight. It is Australia's foremost national symbol and has been an expression of Australian identity and pride. Amen. Thank goodness. This is the Australian Government Department of Prime Minister and Cabinet. This is their website, the Australian government website. So, geez, I'm so grateful that our government have this on that website. You know what I mean? An expression of Australian identity and pride. Amen. I totally agree. That's amazing. My awesome Australian flag, I've got it. It's locked downstairs because Black Lungs lives down there. I don't know where he is. He's living in my granny flat, and bloody, I gave him I gave him my 2 spare keys, so I don't even have a key down there. And my awesome Aussie flag's downstairs, locked downstairs. Anyway, it's a beauty of an Aussie flag, covered in. It's been through so many Australia days with me. That's what I love about my Aussie flag. It's a bit worn. You know what I mean? You could tell it's had a good few adventures, many Australia days, that flag. Anyway. This is what they reckon on the website. Symbolism. The flag has 3 elements on a blue background. The Union Jack, the Commonwealth Star, and the Southern Cross. Dead set. I didn't even know that was the Southern Cross star. That one there. That's the Southern Cross Star, the Union Jack, and the Southern Cross. Beauty. What a ripper. Below the Union Jack is a white Commonwealth or Federation star. It has 7 points representing the unity of the 6 states and the territories of the Commonwealth of Australia. The star also featured on the Commonwealth coat of arms. Awesome. The Southern Cross is shown on the flag in white. It is a constellation of 5 stars that can only be seen from the southern hemisphere and is a reminder of Australia's geography. Bloody oath, mate. You fucking ripper. Anybody else there? How you going? Jump in the comment section for it. Tell them, Dusty. Yeah, mate. We've got to tell them. We have to tell these people, mate, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. Well, I didn't invent the political correct fucking nonsense. They're trying to rewrite the rules where, you know, the squeaky wheel gets the grease. I guess that's just the way of human nature, you know. It's like the kid cries and throws his toys out of the cot, and then someone comes running and goes, "My baby." And that's what's happening now with every single fucking crying, whinging group out there who wants, you know, oh. But we got to do it in a way that we'd be like, hang on a minute, Australian National Flag Day. Just fucking. When I went to the Labor Day march earlier this year, right? That's like all the unions marched in Brisbane City, and it was all right. It was an experience, and I'm going to go every year. But the biggest shame of that rally was there was not one Australian flag, not one. They embraced the was it the Eureka Stockade flag, which is all right. That's an true Aussie flag in itself. But I do think, do you know what? Damn, they should have had the Aussie flags. Next year when I go to Labor Day march, I'm going to get all these little. I looked up on eBay. There's like you can get these little hand waver flags. I think it was like I don't know, they're like $1 each. So next Labor Day, I'm going to go and I'm just going to stand there and be like, hey, mate, how you going, mate? And just fucking hand them out and just liven up that crowd. You know, they need to start waving the Aussie flag on Labor Day. I want to help these guys. Some of them are just good, hard-working blokes. They just need to bang that in the hand. Bang, and be like, fucking, there you go, mate. Give it a wave. Kevin, what do you reckon in the comment section? YouTube channel Toxic treads for investigative look at pushing pedophilia. Oh, don't know, mate. Treads for investigative looks at pushing. Yeah. Well, that's what they do. That's what I was saying about, you know, it's National Flag Waving Day, and we should get amongst this National Flag Waving Day, and we should be like, hang on a minute. This is a national day of celebration. Why aren't we doing that at school? Why aren't they having like a parade? You know how you have like bloody teddy bear picnic? Remember being a kid? Or you have your Easter bonnet parade and you make like a funny hat at Easter when you're a kid. You make it out of cardboard with ears and stick shit on it, paint it, you put it on. This is an Aussie thing. I don't know. I lived in Australia when I was young. I was born in New Zealand. I came straight to Australia. And I think I did grade 1 here. I did my first Easter bonnet parade. And then I got sent back to New Zealand. And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? No Easter bonnet parade. That was a part of this. That's a part of Australian culture, mate. But like the kids who march around the field, they do it for teddy bear picnics. They do it for all the stuff the kids at school. It's pretty cool. It's good on it, mate. That's what you do when you're a kid. None of this bloody wear it purple day, you know, fucking indoctrinate children with left-wing identity politics. No one's interested in that. We're not interested in your bullshit, right? But what we should be doing is having bloody National Flag Day, and the kids should be all like this going, yeah, mate, Just cruising down the oval, marching around the oval. That's what I'm talking about. Hit up your principal of your school. If you got kids, be like, hang on a minute. Why are you celebrating National Flag Day? I should have got onto this before today. Could have done a big stir up, but I didn't. It was last minute. Let's face it. One of the Proud Boys posted it to me, and I was like, oh, that's bloody brilliant. And I'm learning something new about this awesome nation. Where the fuck was I up to? Symbolism, yeah. Blah, blah, blah. Southern Cross is shown on the flag in white. I think we just read that. It represents the Southern Hemisphere and reminder of Australian geography. Yeah, there we go. The history of this Australian Flag Day. In 1901, Australia's first Prime Minister, Edmund Barton. I didn't even know that. Didn't even know that. How slack. Well, I'm learning something new. Announced an international competition. International? You'd think it would have been national competition to design a flag for the new Commonwealth of Australia. There were 32,823 entries, and 5 nearly identical entries were awarded equal first. Wow, I reckon that's pretty cool. The 5 joint winners came from different parts of the community, and they shared a $200 prize. I bet you that was a lot of money back then. You know, with inflation, I reckon that 200, I reckon we could say it was about $2,000, more than $2,000. I'm guessing it'd be more than $2,000 in today's, with inflation, do you know what I mean? Bloody over 100 years ago. On the 3rd of September, 1901, the Prime Minister announced the 5 joint winners of the competition, and the key elements of their design were used to create the new flag of the Commonwealth of Australia. Bloody oath, mate. The joint winners were Anne Dorrington, who was a well-known artist from Perth, Ivor Evans, a 14-year-old Melbourne schoolboy. What a bloody legend. That kid deserves a flag wave. What's his name? Ivan. Where was I? Ivor Evans, a 14-year-old Melbourne schoolboy whose father owned a flag-making business. Wow, his dad sounds like a living legend too. Leslie Hawkins, an 18-year-old from Leichhardt in Sydney, who was an apprentice to a Sydney optician at the time. And then Egbert Nuttall, an architect with the Melbourne and Metropolitan Board of Works. And William Stevens, a first officer with the Union Step Ship Company in New Zealand. Oh, okay. So that's pretty cool. We get to know the people who had a crack. They had a chop at making this flag. I reckon that's pretty sick. You know what I mean? Because who would have thought? I would have never known any of this until my mate posted it up. And like I was saying, my missus did say, oh, there's a National Flag Day coming up. And I was like, geez. And then I put that on the back burner and forgot about it. You know what I mean? Until my mate posted it today. Jump back in the comment section. Anxious Aussie, you're back again, mate. Good on you. Thanks for tuning in. Yes. Yes. Electra from Toxic Thread is awesome. Smart bird all over. I don't know who she is. Sorry, guys. Tell us Yankees more about this Australia Easter Bonnet Day or what have you. Yeah, mate, that's it. There's all these sweet things in Australian culture that, you know what I mean, they're like, that we have and do. And I remember someone saying to me, I think it was my sister-in-law, she's like, we don't really have that much of a culture. And I was like, bullshit, you don't. And then it's like, the funny thing is, it's like my niece is born, you know, her own kid, and it's like they have like a gender reveal party. Then they have the first the first birthday, and it's like a bloody smash cake. The kid crawls through the cake and goes mental. And then you're singing happy birthday to the kid and lighting candles and blowing candles. You're like, this is all our culture. Part of Western culture, part of Australian culture. But it goes on, you know what I mean? And it's all these birthdays, and it's all the simple things we forget about our culture, like, how you going, mate? And you put your hand out and you look them in the eye and you shake that hand firmly, like you put it like that. Not a fish handshake. You never grab the end of the hand. It's just like that. Don't squeeze too hard, but hard enough. You got to be like a fucking normal person. This is all part of our culture. Flag waving day, Easter bonnet day. And I didn't even really think much of it. But I think it was my missus' brother and sister. And she's like, yeah, this year when Easter was going on, they're like, do you remember Easter bonnet day? I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I think I only had one Easter bonnet parade because I had year one here. And then I came back for year 6 and 7, the last 2 years of primary school. And I think the senior years of primary, I don't think we did the Easter bonnet parade. I came at the end of year 6, so I would have missed Easter. So I only got the last year of primary school here, the full year kind of thing, something like that. Anyway, you know what I fucking mean? Easter bonnet parade, mate, with the buddy. They put like cotton wool buds and they glue them on, with PVA glue. That shit's unreal. I'm sure you Yanks have some awesome cultural special things that only you guys do. Everyone should be jumping on the Easter bonnet parade. We should be jumping on the flag day, and all the kids should be like, it's flag day, mum and dad, send me to school. Get me a $1 fucking hand wave a flag from eBay. Just do that. You really want to get that technique. Send that kid the day before, the whole week, and just practice. You got to get that flag flowing back and forth. You know what I mean? Where am I in the comment section? Anxious Aussie reckons, do they still let kids do Easter bonnet parades? Used to be fun, and the mums got pretty competitive. That's right, mate. It's all about the competitive nature. Nothing wrong with being competitive, you know what I mean? Yeah, they still do it. And the thing is, it's like, I guess we traded in the religious celebrations of Easter and Christmas, but we still have the secular stuff because we want everyone to celebrate Easter and Christmas anyway. I think that's where Christians have been successful, because people are just like, this is still a fun culture. This is still fun to participate. And this is another thing about Flag Waving Day and Australia Day and Anzac Day, all the public holidays. You've seen my videos. Every public holiday, get amongst it. Because you got to have fun on your public holidays. You got to get everyone involved. You got to make it accessible for everyone. When it's National Flag Day, we got to say to everyone, be like, hey mate, it's National Flag Day. And they'll be like, I am just here brand new from Africa. Where do I even buy a flag? And you say, we ship them in from China. $1 each off eBay. Some Chinese bloke makes them. But even the African bloke, wherever these people come from, the new Australians, should be like, put $1 hand waver, just be like, and just be like, fucking, that's how you doing, mate. Welcome. You're a full-blown Aussie. You have a VB long neck. No. You know what I mean? Make them feel part of it. It's the only way we're going to do this, mate. We need the Easter bunny eggs. We need Santa. We need the Easter bonnet parades. We need the flag waving day. We need everyone having a crack. Where am I? I could only imagine what Australians would rather change their flag's colour scheme or pattern. It used to be, there was a red flag. I was reading about this today in the history of National Flag Day. I'll bloody find it for you. I think it was in that article that I was just reading. Keep opening the same article. Yeah, the history. We were going on about the history about it. Anyway, let's keep going. Let's keep reading about National Flag Day. So the flag that they created, the flag was flown for the first time on the 3rd of September 1901 at the Exhibition Building in Melbourne, which was then the seat of the federal government. In the original design, the Stars of the Southern Cross had different numbers of points to signify their brightness. Didn't know that. The Commonwealth in signs, I think that's how you say it, in 1903, King Edward approved two designs for the flag of Australia, the Commonwealth blue and the Commonwealth red. There was a bit of almost an argument on my Dusty Bogan's mates chat on Telegram. Almost a fucking argument about it. I was sitting there going, geez. One of the boys was like, my grandfather fought in World War II fighting the Japanese under the red Commonwealth Australian flag, which is the same as this, but it's just red instead of the blue. Yeah, so the red Commonwealth was for the merchant navy, and I think it was for the civilians. On both flags, the Stars of the Southern Cross were simplified to 4 7-pointed stars and 1 5-pointed star. In 1908, a 7-pointed was added to the Commonwealth star to represent Australian territories, which is a good thing. You know what I mean? You want to have the whole nation represented in that flag, and it is. It's amazing. However, people were confused about the use of two Australian flags. The blue flag was meant to be for official and Navy purposes, and the red was meant to be used by the merchant fleet, which I'm guessing that's just civilian ships. But the general public began using the red on land, is what it reckons. Proclamation, the Flag Act 1953. In 1941, Prime Minister Robert Menzies issued a press statement recommending the flying of the blue flag as a national emblem. The Flag Act 1953 subsequently proclaimed the Australian blue as the Australian national flag and the Australian red as the flag of the merchant ship registered for merchant ships registered in Australia. An amendment to the Flag Act 1953 was passed in 1998 to ensure that the national flag can be changed only with the agreement of the Australian people. So we have to have a fucking referendum to change the flag, which I'm so glad that they've put that in there. They've kind of made it, it can't be changed in Parliament. We have to have a referendum about it. I'm so glad. Other official Australian flags include the Australian Aboriginal flag, the Torres Strait Islander flag, and the Australian Defence Force flag. No joke, mate. Didn't really know that. Where was I? See who else has jumped in the comment section. 10 of you watching. That's pretty good. I was getting jackal views the other weeks when I was just stuffing around playing backyard table tennis and basketball and that. No, not much. Anyway, I need to lift this up so I got good eye contact. No, not one day. Next week I'll have it down pat. I'll have to chuck a few decent books under there. Nah. Anyway, I thought it was the red ensign. Yeah, is that how I say it? I don't even know. Well, they don't lack full symbolism in the flag. Can't fault them for that. That's it, mate. Where the heck was I in this? Here we go. Bang. I'm jumping back in this Flag Day. I thought there was some cool stuff in here, which I've never really looked into this much before, you know what I mean? But these days, they make you think to yourself, you got to get amongst it, mate. If you don't enjoy the flag and enjoy, national pride, then if some weirdo comes along and says, we want to change everything, we want to reinvent the wheel, like a lot of these left-wing politicians, I think they just try to justify their own existence. So they're like, you know, the truth is if they just left everything the fuck alone and left us alone, everything would just keep ticking along. But they have to invent, they have to like justify their own existence. Look, we're changing things. We want to change everything. They have to change shit because everything's going fine, and we're like, everything's going good, mate. Just leave us the fuck alone, you filthy politicians. And then they're like, no, if I don't fucking change something, everyone will cotton on to me. Everyone's going to be like, these bludgers are doing fucking nothing. We don't even need them. You know what I mean? You could sack half of them, more than half. You probably sack 2/3 of them and be like, Parliament sits only 6 months of the year, you bastards. We don't need so much change. We need efficiency and we need value for money. You know what I mean? But we don't need all the reinventing of the wheel. The triangle fucking wheels, the Illuminati wheels, that's what I call them, the big triangle Illuminati wheels that they want the world to be running on. Fucking doof, doof, doof. Here we go. I'm doing a live. Leave me alone. I wouldn't be surprised. My family. Nah, I won't go there. Anyway, where was I? Where was I reading? Do I have any other? No, that's the end of this. That's the end of this rant about fucking the Flag Day. What else have I got here about Flag Day? There's got to be something. Mate. Myths and facts about Flag Day. Sounds bloody good. The Oz Flag, our own flag. That's the name of this website I'm reading from. The Australian Red Ensign. That's what they call it. I think myths and facts. Our opponents in this debate like to rewrite history and pretend that our current national flag, the blue Australian ensign, has been our national flag forever and that people have fought and died for it. This is one of their prime arguments against change. And they use it very emotionally. They ignore the red ensign despite its overwhelming use in Australia and overseas during the first half of the 20th century. There are many problems with this argument. The first is that the blue ensign became Australian national flag only in 1954. Well, that's probably when it was, that was when they put the line in the sand and they were like, nah, that's the red one for the merchant fleet. And this is the blue one, the national flag. Anyway, we'll see what we get out of this one. Prior to that date, used by ordinary citizens was strongly and actively discouraged. The blue was not some glorious and romantic flag of the people, but an instrument of government, much like the coat of arms. Well, that is for the people too. Anyway, this may be some flag. This might be some left-leaning website that's like, we should change the flag. Do you know what I mean? There's plenty of them out there, mate. Anyway, this meant that the public didn't officially have a flag to fly other than the Union Jack, which is what many people did. In this official vacuum, if anyone wanted a more Australian symbol, they used the red ensign as a de facto civil flag. So that's why people were using the merchant flag. Anyway, it was not strictly correct, but it happened at every level of the community, including the armed services. So people liked it. It was like, yeah, the government's got their official for ceremonial purposes and government purposes, and this is more of the people's flag. That sounds pretty cool. Part of our history, I guess. You know what I mean? The second problem with this argument is that members of the armed service in Australia never fought and died for a flag anyway. Ooh, they fought and died for our country, a stable but important difference. Hang on a minute. They didn't die for a flag. They fought and died for our country. Well, the flag represents the country, mate. That's what a flag is? That's what the flag's for, mate. It's the symbolism of the nation. So anyway, I'm arguing with the article right now. The third problem is that there is a wealth of pictorial evidence which proves that the red ensign was the flag with both the public and members of the armed service overwhelmingly related to and adopted as Australia's de facto national flag prior to 1954. De facto national flag. Yeah, so it was maybe the people liked it. That's just like I was saying at the Labor Day rally, how they use in the bloody Eureka Stockade flag, which there is historical reasons for that. Anyway, I won't go down that rabbit hole. This period, of course, includes both World War I and World War II. In fact, in 1967, Prime Minister Robert Menzies wrote a book, Afternoon Light, Some Memories of Men and Events, as that must be the name. In the year of my birth, 1894, Queen Victoria was on the throne in the United Kingdom and Ireland and the dominions and colonies beyond the seas. For us, the maps of the world were patterned with great areas of red at a time when red was a respectable color. And now it's not, because communism fucked that up. And probably the Nazis, they all used red. All the evil bastards used red. Nah. It seems clear Menzies changing in 1954 of the then popular red ensign to blue without consulting the Australian people was for blatant political purposes in his campaign against the red communist peril. What a legend. Good on him. Menzies was onto it. And I have a feeling this article is written by a lefty. Finally, if you don't believe that the anti-change brigade rewrite history, we have a look at an example below. It's just one Aussie bloke in World War II flying the red version in Papua New Guinea. But yeah, one of the dudes on the Dusty Bogans mates wrote about it today, and he was like, yeah, my granddad used that flag in World War II fighting the Japanese. So there you go. It's all part of our history. It's brilliant. I want to get a red Australian flag too, and a Eureka Stockade flag. I reckon all of them will be sick. It's part of our culture and our history. We should get amongst it, you know what I mean? I'll just jump back in the comment section. Where am I? You just described true libertarianism. Well, did I? I don't know. If you practice true libertarianism properly, you should have less laws year by year as things get more organized. Amen, Kevin. Absolutely, man. We should be streamlining it, cutting the fat, making it more efficient. We don't need these people and the red tape bogging us down. More freedom. There we go. Anxious Aussie. I thought they decided to use the blue in the end for most purposes because it was done in the day of red under the bed, so the red one looked commie. Yeah, probably right, mate. That's what Menzies obviously was like, nah, sick of these communists. They're none of the most evil people on the face of the earth. Well, they killed 110 million people. We seen my rally on the weekend with the people in Hong Kong fighting against the communism. And the stupidest thing, get this, there was actually people from Antifa there. They were all like, with their fucking weak-wristed posing, they're like, oh, I'm fucking gay. With that like purple hair dye and the fucking nose piercings and shit. And I was like, I'll post it up because I think I've got footage of me, and I'm like, look at these fucking idiots. And I just walked around them a few times, but I didn't rock the boat. But I knew who they were. Any fucking way. Right, guys, I'm gonna have to hit the road because my missus just got home. I'm gonna have to work out a way to do. Oh, right, here's my pitch. I just fixed my bloody website last night. Go check it out, thedustybogan.com. And there's all the links to my PayPal, my merch shop, so you can buy Dusty Bogan shirts. I'll show you my shirt. You can buy Dusty Bogan shirts in America. There's two shops, one for the Northern Hemisphere and one for the Southern Hemisphere, because it makes it cheaper for shipping and postage. So go check that out, dustybogan.com. You can buy my shirts. You can chip me $1 to my PayPal. So if you don't want to give money in super chats, because it doesn't even really matter, fucking YouTube, they take a chunk out of that anyway. So PayPal is bloody brilliant. If you do, you can send me a message. I'll give you a shout out if you ever do that. And what else is going on? All the links to my social media accounts are on my website. And I use Telegram, the Dusty Bogan mates, if you ever want to have a bit of banter. And bloody oath, mate. And fucking hit the notification bell so you get notifications. I'm going to try to do a quick afternoon show every day for a bit and just rebuild my channel up, because I've been a bit slack the last few weeks. Fucking how the fuck do you even do this? Anyway, guys, have a bloody great afternoon. I hope you've all learned something about Australian National fucking Flag Day. God bless. Maybe next year I'll have the day off work and I'll go to the ceremony in the city. You know what I mean? So God bless you all. Have a good bloody afternoon. Cheers, eh?